Alright guys, this is going to be my mage build video. We're going to go through a few things here, but we're going to go over the mage class in general here. So let's start with our skills. I'm going to start here. As you can see up in the corner here, this is where normally if you haven't bought it already, you're going to have your option to buy the double skill tree. And what this does is this buys you a second tree. And you'll have the same amount of points in each tree, and both can be allocated separately, so you can have two options for your tree. I'm going to start on my second one right now. This is my less commonly used tree. This is my damage tree. So if you actually look at how I've allocated the points, I've got my lightning bolt and my rain of fire at max along with my meteor. This is to hopefully get the most amount of damage out of those three. Something to never overlook on any of your trees is the hard element here, which gives you extra rage per attack, and the mana master, which is a magic attack boost. Underrated also is the castinator, which reduces the rage cost of your next skill, which can be very helpful when it does happen. Also on this tree, you'll notice that I have my Delphic Thunder Frenzy at max. This is a skill that I do not use. This one and your Delphic Hell Thunder to a mage are essentially not that great of skills. The one you do want, though, is your Thunderer. And again, you can see on this tree I have it at max. Another skill here that is very handy in certain situations is my Damnation. Damnation will, when it's cast, debuff the enemy and give you 10% extra damage. So this is the damage tree itself. We're going to switch over here to... We're dealing with a bit of lag here. There we go. This is my main tree. This is my heal tree. You can see that Thunderbolt, or Lightning Bolt, and Rain of Fire are only at 4 on this tree. The reason for that is I don't want them as high because I want the points for this row here, which is your healing row. In most parties, a mage is going to act and serve as simply the healer, not as a damage toon. So you'll see again, I have the two passives up here and my castinator. I also have my purification, which removes debuffs from the party. This is essentially a cleanse or a dispel. It's a support skill, and it's very handy to have. It will remove anything such as bleeds, your defense reductions, damage reductions, things like that. It'll remove all of those unless it states that it is not able to be removed. So you can see Resto is at max, same with the passive, same with the Centauri, and the same with Blessed Light. These are going to be key in terms of Spire and everything else. Down below, you have your ability to place your skills. Something to keep in mind, and we'll take a look at this right now. Right now, the way it's set up like this is how I keep it when I'm doing things solo, by myself, with my troops, whatever it may be. I have my Lightning Bolt, my Rain of Fire, and my Meteor. This allows me to do the most amount of damage possible by myself, especially with these two skills, your Rain of Fire and your Meteor. They're very important to when you're doing arenas, such things like that. It allows you to clear troops very quickly and get right down to the nitty-gritty and take out the player. I keep the Restoration simply because I'm not so much worried about healing my troops as much as I'm worried about healing myself. And Centauri, something that can be very handy to cast at the beginning of a difficult battle. If you know it's going to be a fight to the finish, then this is probably your best opening skill. Otherwise, I would generally use Rain of Fire first, Meteor second, and by the time that's done, Rain of Fire will be off cooldown again, so you can use that again. That gives you the ability to cast 3 AoE attacks in a row. Very handy. Also to be noted, this is the tree that I would suggest you build into if you are a free-to-play player. If you have no plans to buy the second skill tree, I would recommend that you build into the healing simply because most mages are wanted for their ability to heal, not so much for their ability to damage. Something else to note is your talents. Inside of your talents, Holy Seal is always going to be your most important. Um, Barrier is a damage reduction, so it's a definite yes. These two are the only two that you really absolutely should build into. Um, Building into survival is nice. It gives you a percentile increase to your restoration, which makes it stronger, but it extends the cooldown of it, so keep that in mind. Another one that I have been looking at and possibly considering building into a little bit is Misfortune. It shortens the cooldown of Damnation, but as you can see, it increases it by 10%, which effectively doubles the damage increase from Damnation. So something to think about. Other than that, I don't think any of the talents are truly worth it. A couple other things quickly. Inside of your academy, when you start out, you should definitely work on the first page. When the second page becomes available with the advanced skills, something to keep in mind is that if you're getting up into the higher levels of your academy, the second page will actually offer you a greater increase for less canite cost, simply because of the fact that they're starting out at their base levels. Up until about level 20, these skills will actually be cheaper to build into and easier to build into than your first page if you filled it out quite well. Also remember, do not neglect your troops, especially as a mage. They are very important to you. They're going to stand as the wall between you and other players and help reduce the amount of damage that you take. And also, don't bother to build into physical attack in here. There's no point to it. It doesn't help you. It will raise your battle rating, yes, but it's not going to be effective for you. Also, keep in mind, know what troops you're using. Templars use physical attack, not magic attack. So if you're exclusively using Templars, there's no point in building the magic attack. And finally, a quick look at astrals. All classes should use their main attack stat. So magic attack for us, also both defenses, willpower and fortitude. For magic defense and physical defense. You can see I've got my Sniper's Edge and Determination on here. These are actually only used for World Boss for me. Other than that, I actually use my Goddess Blessing and Will Destroyer. Will Destroyer is going to be better for you than Crit. Crit will only actually shine once you're able to increase to about 4,000 crit. Until then, your Will Destroyer is actually going to allow you to do more damage. Also, HP is important. It's always going to help. It's going to help in all situations. HP is actually a little bit better than the next one that I've got ready to go, which is Charm. Charm and raising your charisma is always going to be helpful. Do not neglect it as a mage. Keep that in mind. It's a hidden gem. But, as I said, HP is going to take precedent over your charisma and over your troops simply because it's used in all situations, and there's only a few situations where you actually use your troops. So I hope this helps and explains a few things and allows you to build better mages. Thanks for watching.